Still need to watch Seinfeld.
You have not watched that show?
It's a classic.
What the hell?
Yes, you do.
You bring me exploding beer?
I did not.
I didn't shake it up.
Mine didn't do that.
Mine
This isn't
didn't do that.
Taylor Swift song?
Stop trying to look at the beer.
I'm not.
You shook that beer up so you could come over here and look at the beer. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
In my old Kentucky home. Kentucky.
2, 1.
Hello, welcome to Kentucky Comics Radio Hour. We're on episode 7 here. As always, that might not be right.
That looks like 13 to me. But...
God damn it.
We're like, no, you're not starting over. You own this and you keep going.
Well, you question me. Don't question me.
You're the host.
Anyways, as always, we're joined by the incredibly obnoxious John Renane, the perpetuating, titillating Michael Moeller, David Satterley, that's me, and special guest today, Drew Johnson from Fall City.
Hello.
So Drew.
It's like, wow, everyone else got these fantastic intros, and it's just like, here's Drew.
And here's
I want you to speak for yourself.
No, that's your job. You are the host. You are the...
Okay, so
You are hosting. David's hosting today.
This
Yeah,
whole
by the way,
ep-
guys, David's the host. Just so you know.
This whole
Well,
episode.
hey, host David, can I get a more exciting intro?
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special episode this week.
Nope.
The one, the only, you know him, you love him, you've made pictures of him with crayons at Fall City Beer, Drew Johnson!
All right, that seems sufficient.
Yeah.
Was that too much?
No, that's great. So, we are with Drew Johnson. Drew Johnson is a nice man. He's got red hair. And he's
Wow.
also pretty old. But he's still here today. And
This is off to a fantastic start. I can't wait to see where this is going.
it's going everywhere.
Okay.
Where are you going with this?
You guys need to just trust the process because
I trust it.
every 3 seconds
trust it.
I'm getting off the
Okay.
rails.
All right.
But there were no rails to begin with.
Okay.
So, Drew, we've had Ryan on the show a couple times from
He's a
Kansas
regular at
City.
this point.
Who?
Ryan Berg,
Who?
He like sweeps the floors at Fall Cities a couple nights a week, I think.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
keg
Gotcha.
cleaner.
Yeah.
Yes, gotcha. That one too.
And
Yes.
we just kind of just throw him on there, but we never talked about Fall City. So
Oh, that's
who better
great.
than to talk about Fall City than
I mean, our marketing guy's on here, so I'm talking about our brand. Fantastic.
He slips it in subtly.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ever so slightly.
Ever so subtly and smoothly, yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
great.
Great. Well,
Do
yeah.
you want to give us a little bit of
Yeah, let's talk about the...
information about Fall City? So
That'd be
most of our
fantastic.
We've
listeners,
never asked Ryan.
Yeah,
before,
our
so now we're
listeners
asking.
Wow. Okay.
are not all from Kentucky, so this is like all new territory. And I think Fall City is wonderful, and I think you should talk about it.
What would you like to know? Just a little bit of everything?
Sure. When did it start?
Oh, here we go. I guess I should have been ready for all this. Yeah, so Fall City is a horse... yeah, there we go. Fantastic start of the
Fall
Let
City
me-
is a horse.
It's a horse.
It's going to connect in the end.
Well, looking at the horse head that's like right over there. It's just all...
We are surrounded by horses.
That is correct.
It is Kentucky for you non-Kentucky listeners. We're surrounded by horses all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. All
we
right,
don't
here
wear
we go.
shoes.
We're
Yeah,
close.
I'm not wearing shoes.
I'm wearing clothes, but not shoes. No, so...
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you will
You
see
get the
that we
video
are all
feed.
wearing shoes and clothes.
and clothes and clothings. No, yeah, Fall City is a historic brand that started back in 1905. Started as a group of ragtag grocery store owners, liquor store owners, kind of banding together to create this brewery to kind of fight against the big beer monopolies, kind of taking over, everything around them, which is kind of still what we're fighting today. So, survived prohibition by making near beer, soda, ice. Made it through those tough years, was, creating all kinds of innovative styles back in the day, one of which we're drinking right now is a Bock
Yeah,
beer.
beer's great.
Our flagship brand is right now is a pale ale, which is a beer that was kind of a style that Fall City made back in the early 1900s. Another one that we do now is the Kentucky Common. Hence, I should have brought the Kentucky Common since we're on the Kentucky Common radio hour. But
Yeah, totally.
that's where I messed
We've
up.
all
But,
had it. It's fantastic.
yeah, we've all had it. It's but yeah, it's a style of beer that originated in Louisville. A lot of breweries do it differently. Ours is 4% kind of corn, rye heavy.
Is it sour?
It is not sour. It is not sour.
Sam Cruz is screaming and pounding his fists on the
I know.
table right
I can
now.
hear him from now. I can hear him from here, somewhere over in Indiana. I don't know that land, but no. I mean, Fall City had a great history. Really, the marketing back in the 50s and 60s, like seeing some of the stuff, and everyone kind of turning things up now. It's just a historic brand around the city.
Yeah, you see it on everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's Fall City. I mean, it's Fall City Brewing Company, but now there's just a tons of different Fall Cities out there. There's Fall City Roofing Company. There's Fall City Electrical. There's Fall City, whatever. So
Oh, I was talking more along the lines of like, like today when they do branding and like merch and stuff, it's like hoodies and T-shirts, but they would do like glass clocks and like
sometimes bar signs. Like if you go to a lot of the old German
Yeah.
bars by my house, it's like Seidenfadens with the huge Fall City logo above it. It's
I
like
mean,
they would help them
Outlook
stay
In.
in business.
Outlook In is
Outlook
the
In,
one.
yeah.
So we just Outlook In has had that sign there forever. So we just
what sign is it?
Huh?
It's a giant Fall City sign.
A giant
Yeah.
Fall City sign outside of Outlook In. It's been there forever, and the sign was deteriorating. So we worked with Megan and her family that run that spot, which are great people.
Yeah.
Made that thing come back to life, and just another thing that kind of as kind of a gateway into the Highlands, because we did kind of a mural on the side of the Diorio's.
Mhm.
Kind of funny enough, like it did say Fall City Beer for a very short period of time, and then you are not allowed to. So they had to erase the Fall City Beer out of that logo and just put beer,
Nice.
because you're promoting a brand that is not. We were not the owners of that establishment,
Right.
so so there was like a law that it couldn't say Fall City Beer because we were not the tenants of that building. So
It's kind of like up in Florence. They have the water tower, and it originally said like Florence Mall. And then like you can't put that on a public
right,
utility.
so it turned into y'all.
Florence, y'all.
Yeah. Now you have like their AAA baseball team is the y'all.
Really? I love
Yes,
that. That's amazing.
fantastic.
Well, no, I thought this tangent on that one, but I think they just changed their name to like the Genomes or something. I don't know.
Are they genetically modified like baseball?
Stupid.
Big biochem guys.
Just out of curiosity, is that a city ordinance, a state, federal?
It was a city ordinance that, and I couldn't remember the exact language within that law. But yeah, since we were not a tenant, we cannot have our logo and our name on the side of that building, which makes me wonder how there's a lot of distilleries that have their. I'm not going to say any of them out loud, but you all see them driving into downtown.
Totally.
And I think that you can. Some of those bigger brands could possibly just pay that fine and just keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
hey, this, it's a marketing piece. You can just pay the fine, just move on, and that's your branding.
It's like if you drive a Lamborghini, you can just afford to speed.
Correct.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes with the ownership.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Fall City, survived through the 50s, 60s through crazy marketing. One of the funniest things that they used was it's pasteurized, it's bitter free.
Nice. Yeah, all the old branding stuff like that was
So
great
it's-
compared to what we see
It's
now.
just like it's pasteurized, it's bitter free. So
Guaranteed to not have flavor.
Right, exactly. So pasteurization, kills off any living organism, that mainly the yeast. You're basically killing off any kind of yeast character, which
People
this-
still pasteurize beer.
we have a pasteurizer. We don't use it, but we have it on hand. We're using it for a couple other projects, but with all the fruit and shit that's going into beers these days, that's something to make something shelf stable. I mean, it's a brewery up in Indiana.
I'll make fun of 450 North. So you
Okay,
don't have
that's
to.
fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I was going to say, it's like you're putting that much fruit in beer, you're just creating like canned bombs.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Speaking
we-
of can bombs,
well,
we were drinking this Bock beer.
user error.
You
but-
shook it up.
I put my thumb in it.
You wanted to sneak a peek at the secret beers, and you shook it up.
We're not there yet.
Oh yeah,
Not there yet.
David's the host.
Where are we?
That's one thing I love
Pasteurized
about
is
like
bitter free.
Fall City too. Is like back in the day, it was a big beer brand competing against other big beer brands,
Yeah.
but it supported all those little small corner pubs, and that was kind of how the market was back in the day.
Yeah.
Y'all would make the beer, or your great grandfathers, or
Man,
whatever.
if
And
I,
then it would
if I had a nickel for every my uncle or my grandfather,
yes,
it's
well, my
like,
dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Your dad,
He worked in
like
the lab
my
there in,
dad's
like,
like
the
it's
70s.
like it's
Give him a
it's
nickel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I would.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
He worked in there, I think, like quality control lab or something. He's like
That's
an
crazy.
engineering chemistry.
I
student
swear,
or
I think that
something.
everybody had. It seemed like everybody had
Yeah.
some uncle or grandfather, someone that worked for.
And anybody who we see here on the shop or who we talk to, coming to Louisville from outside, one of the first things that when they kind of just start learning about Louisville's beer history, they say, "Oh, Fall City, like my granddad had that in the fridge when I was a kid," or like, whatever. Eventually, they'll reference the Jimmy Carter beer or something like that, and then we'll say,
Yeah.
"Well, go there, go to the tap room now."
We'll get to that point.
What
Yeah,
was-
it's I'll lead up. Like my mom brought up to the point that my great grandfather was a brewer at Stroh's. Like she's
Oh,
from
cool.
Michigan, so
Oh, nice.
I'm talking about another like old beer brand. So it's.
What was Fall City's distribution like pre-prohibition?
Man, there was pre-prohibition. We've tried to find records back that far, but after prohibition, when everything really started booming, I
50s,
mean, there were
60s,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it was all over West Virginia, down south through Florida,
Yeah.
Tennessee, Georgia, up the East Coast, Pennsylvania. I mean, they were doing hundreds of thousands of barrels a year. Crazy numbers, which we're not even sniffing close to. Granted, we're doing things a lot differently than they were back in the day, but
Yeah, so
Um,
the brand kind of took a little bit of a sunset for a little while.
that it did. So yeah, so cue in Jimmy Carter and Billy Carter with Billy Beer, and that was brewed in 1977, and then the doors closed in Louisville in 1978. So
I was thinking it's so funny that like Billy Carter was such a person that kind of was so into making beer tasteless and like for the
Yeah.
people. Jimmy Carter legalized home brewing, so it's
Well,
an interesting
It was all,
dynamic.
I mean, just, kind of Fall City, like reverting back to trying to fight the big beer monopolies. You've got Bud Miller Coors that are coming in that have, big pocketbooks. So
They can pay to speed in a lot of
exactly.
ways.
And Fall City had to start to kind of sacrifice, the level of ingredients and cost to try and create, a more affordable product, which gave it the name Fall Shitty, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Everybody.
People say that.
I mean, my
So,
dad,
are you suggesting that the president ruined Fall City beer?
President's brother.
president's
President's
brother.
drunken brother,
Yes.
allegedly, in Minecraft.
So then the brand from there kind of got shifted around to, Pennsylvania, Indiana, was kind of brewed around a couple different spots. Then Pabst was the last company that had the rights to the label. Let the trademark just kind of go defunct. Didn't, renew the rights or anything. So Dave Easterling, a local entrepreneur, kind of saw that was like a window, and he was like, he bought the rights and just wanted to sell T-shirts and merchandise. And you guys, some of his friends were like, hey, you can, sell some beer, and, you can do more than just sell T-shirts and whatever. So, found a couple of different contract brewers and, kind of started out just selling merchandise and, contract brewing out of Nashville, and just really kind of snowballed into.
Yeah,
the
I
next
remember
phase
your
of
all's
where we
first
are
little
now.
tap room over there on Barrett Avenue, like in the cigar shop or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's
now.
where I started.
Yeah.
I had about 10 years of liquor, like retail alcohol before going over there. I started.
What made you want to get into the craft beer scene?
Well, I mean, my degree was environmental science and music, so I'm doing
Makes sense.
absolutely nothing with.
That's
either
a
one of
natural
those.
transition.
I've
yeah.
seen you singing to trees in Cherokee.
I have, playing guitar and just singing to trees, and no, I got out of school and just started working at local liquor barn, kind of working in the beer department, and just kind of kept moving my way up. Kept giving me more money, promoting me. Started getting more involved with local beer community, everything about what was going on, and I don't know, just wanted to get from the retail side over to like making beer. I was homebrewing at that time, and then getting over to the brewery side. This kind of opened up. Got to work with Brian Ray Miller. I don't know if any of you all ever got to meet him. He was the brewer at Brownings, which is where Against the Grain is now.
Was I born at that time?
Mm.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 19-aught. No. Ray Miller is a great brewer. Brownings was awesome. So was owned by Anush. Can't remember how to pronounce his last name. Shariat, who owns like Anush Bistro and
Oh yeah.
Anush Nosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he used to
Oh.
own Brownings.
I was in
Oh, I
a
didn't
business
know that.
association class with his wife.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
So Brian Ray Miller, he
Shout out
was
Anush.
a great brewer. I learned how to brew under him. He kind of taught me how to brew on the 7-barrel system, which we still have at our brewery now.
We brewed a beer on that.
Wait,
Yeah.
you brewed that at Brownies?
No, so Brian came from Brownings over to Fall City.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I guess he left Brownings when Brownings closed. He went to work. He was working at Zappos, I think. Then came to work at Fall City. So I was kind of a catch-all guy. I was, working in the brewery, working with him, learning how to brew, and then kind of going out, selling beer in the afternoon, cleaning kegs in the morning, selling beer in the afternoon. Brew days, I'd be there all day.
Now you're doing the exact same thing.
Pretty much. Now that I just have more people around me.
Everyone
Not-
gets
not-
in my way now.
Not a lot has changed. I have more people around me, which helps. But it was awesome. I got really kind of got thrown into it. I learned how to brew pretty quick on a big scale. I'm pretty good at catching on. So I took a lot of notes. I still have my notebook, and I think it's really cool shit to look back on. Cameron has made things a lot more efficient than when I was doing it, and he knows a hell of a lot more about it than I do.
Cam's one of those other OG Louisville
like-
beer people who's just been around forever.
Yeah, I've known Cameron for a long time back.
And he's
when
only
he was-
29, which is like
yeah, in dog years.
Yeah.
Actually, Cameron's only 1 year older than me. Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. It's I know we've kind of.
That sounds like a
You're right.
long time.
I mean, I could keep going on forever, but
And what is your current role with Fall City?
my current title is director of operations, so you can kind of
and you'll have a lot of operations.
have a lot of operations. So in addition
Is there
to
an
Fall
order
City,
of operations?
yeah,
Kings play cards on. No, wait, that's the whatever. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
yes,
Yeah.
So we also do operations for Old 502 Winery,
Mm-hmm.
which we share a roof with. Yeah, gotta
Yeah,
play
of
together.
course.
Coming. Yeah, they're
Speaking
great.
of
We're-
plugging, we have a Patreon if you want to see all of this lovely
You are
video.
the host. Here it is.
There it
Here's
is.
what we've been waiting for.
If you want to see all of our great faces and content, subscribe to our Patreon today for the low entry point of $3. You can see all
All right,
of
now
us
you're
enjoy
overselling it.
all of these things, and for $7, you can get me to literally do anything.
The David
so go
Satterley
for it.
tier, which you made without us knowing.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we
make my
found
own
out
tier.
about that.
Yeah, we found out about that. You're fired.
Oh, well, this is the third time I've been fired. But we did have a couple new subscribers with very specific requests. So on the next episode, I will be reading long form prose about water dwelling amphibians.
Okay. I look forward to
or
that.
water dwelling mammals. Sorry, Lauren. But it's
aren't
common.
all amphibians water dwelling?
No.
It's complicated.
It's
It's a complicated relationship.
it has
Okay.
niche value. Okay.
I mean, he only studied environmental science.
Right.
Yeah, we should probably go.
A lot's
on this
changed
one.
since you were in school, Drew.
That is true, but I'm pretty
lot's
sure
changed.
that animals have not changed.
Yeah. Well, your new name, I affectionately call you Uncle Drew. Now it's Professor Drew.
Mhm.
Yeah, I should have brought my monocle.
You have a monocle?
No,
Oh, okay.
it'd be a lot cooler if I did that.
Yeah, you actually would. But anyways, we are drinking this Bock beer from Fall City.
Yeah, very nice.
I like that this is canned now. You all been doing it for a couple of years, but it's a seasonal release.
Yeah, so Bock beer, we're actually ahead of the game, surprisingly for once. Usually we're not, but Bock beer is the beer of Lent. It's a beer
Mhm.
that monks would drink during times of fasting. So it's high protein.
Speaking of Moeller, do you have plans for Lent this year? I mean, everyone has plans for Lent.
I am.
We've kicked around the idea of doing a beer only diet, which is the
I've
name of our
considered it.
Doppelbock recipe. So maybe we'll brew up a giant batch of that. Although we should have done it months ago.
Yeah.
It's something I'm considering. I don't know if I want to do that for 40 days. That's a difficult ask, but I'd love to try it for a week and then see how I feel after
Yeah.
that.
What's 40 divided by 3?
It's a lot of beer.
Like 16 and some change.
Yeah.
What if one of us?
Well, you have a
one of
kegerator
us
now.
we rotated off. Like we did a third,
Yeah.
a third of Lent.
There
I
you
can do
go.
that.
Perfect.
This is
Anyway, so
good
yes.
idea.
So I do. So you said this was like one of the OG labels too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
uh-huh.
this is a label.
I think I've seen
that
this
we
in,
pulled
like,
from back in.
Kevin Gibson's
I wish
book.
I could tell you which year. Kevin Gibson would probably be a better person to answer that than me, but
This is 1905.
That sounds right.
well, that's when it was founded.
That's an old goat.
Yeah, it's Cameron. We've messed around with the recipe. We've done a Maibach, we've done a Doppelbock, we've done different kinds of Bock beers, and this is the one that Cameron did last year. We kind of landed on to do again. I love it. It's kind of more of a traditional box and more along the lines of what Shiner Bock is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really crisp for a Bock. Like normally it's like a malt explosion.
Oh yeah, show us that. Is that right there? Show me that color too, because it's very it's one of those beers. We drank dark lagers last week from the Bohemian Dark Lager, and we just talked about how interesting of a style they are.
Yeah,
because they drink nice and light and crisp, but it's got color and heft to it.
Yeah, tons of color. In the light, it kind of has this like.
So what did we can this? The 8th. What day is that? That was 2 days ago, right?
That says 1905.
2 days ago.
I think it was 1905.
Yes. So what was it? The date on the bottom is what? Is that John King's phone number? Is that what it is?
There was some controversy in one of our local Louisville Facebook beer groups this week about the bottom of the cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if you pick
so
up
people
cans
got emotional about
look at them.
Yeah.
There were some heated arguments over
for some reason.
What does that mean?
Nerds.
Why are people arguing about stupid shit?
Because no one knows the truth.
Yeah.
And if Fall City would just come out and tell us the truth.
Or admit that amphibians are actually land-based animals.
What do you want to know?
Exactly. I can't handle the truth. But
birds are fake.
Birds aren't real. But this is a great seasonal release. You guys have been doing seasonals a little more frequently because you got the big brew system that all the flagship stuff goes on. Shout out Flagship February. We also got some Fall City Pilsner.
Mm-hmm. School Pilsner.
And then, the smaller system, which isn't that small. 7 barrels is not a small system, but you guys you're cranking out some really like innovative stuff. I know you're old, you don't know that much about innovation, but Cameron seems to
be. He's a young whippersnapper.
I drink fruities and hazies and things.
Fruities.
He's on beer TikTok all the time. He sees the trends.
I know how to talk.
Cool.
Neat.
Hello, fellow children. But no, I like the sweater weather is now taking its own idea.
It's our weather series, kind of our sour series. So yeah, we just did the Down Under weather, the Pavlova one, which was lactose and strawberry, kiwi, and passion fruit. Then Pete Miata weather is going to be coming out in
that's weeks. A good one. You'll do Couch Coach too, right?
Couch Coach.
I always like that one as well.
That's the dry hop lager.
Yeah, that one's very good.
Yeah, very tasty.
Crusher. Where did Pink Miata come from? Is that like your dream car or
no? Like I forgot. Like I'll give a lot of that credit to Brian Uselis, and I can't remember how we came to that. How we came to that name, but I think it was kind of like that midlife crisis. Like that when you get into that. My dad bought. It wasn't a pink one, but he bought a Miata.
They don't come pink like standard.
Everything comes pink.
Yeah, you can try hard enough.
You can get something pink. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, my dad bought a Miata, and I think it was fun to drive with the top down, but I cannot fit into that thing with like the top. It was terrible. Like I felt like I was going to die. I mean, it was fun to drive on the country roads, but then he was like, yeah, he got over that quick and sold in about 2 months and got a Ford F-150. So
love it. Love it.
It was a short-lived
midlife crisis.
But yeah, I have no idea how it came to like Pink Miata weather, but we like the first time that we did that, we just did like draft only. Mm-hmm. And somehow like there's like this weird Miata club like cult that like,
don't call the people that drank
that found found that we were doing this, and so we were getting hit up from all points of the United States that like people were trying to like get this beer because they were just Miata
aficionados.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
yeah.
We just kind of did like a tongue-in-cheek joke. So
we're
putting out in cans. So I don't know if sooner or later Mazda is going to come after what the cease and desist.
Or hey Mazda, let's figure something out.
Let's partnership. No, really though, the Miata people are the worst group of cult people.
It's weird.
All like it's them and then Jeep people, like women that drive Jeep Wranglers. I just don't get at all.
I've got a Jeep. I don't have a Wrangler. But
what about women who drive Jeep Wranglers? I love women who drive Jeep Wranglers.
Apparently, you've been talking to my wife. So.
We got some tips from Drew's wife about topics to suggest.
No way. Next topic.
If you're listening, Brian, you tell us we do need the truth.
Yeah.
Also, car people are okay, but yeah, I mean, Miata people, they're right behind Subaru people for being like obnoxious.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
There's Honda
environmental.
Element people, apparently. There's a whole subreddit.
Yeah, there's one. It's you.
Yeah, Kayla wanted me to get a Subaru, and then I realized if I were to get a new car and it was a Subaru, that I would not have a new car anymore. I'd basically just get her old car. So
That's
Yeah.
a good tactic, but cars are pretty expensive, and so is beer sometimes. But
that they are.
It's true.
Yeah. So what? I mean, if I'm getting the seasonal release, what's this going to run me? How big of a dent in my pocketbook are we going?
It's gonna be 11 doll hairs.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I remember when it was $10.99.
yeah. For a case,
For-
a Fall City beer. I used to be able to get a case of beer, a Fall City, 24 of them for $9.99.
Are you channeling John Cates right now?
Yeah.
Is that how he talks?
I don't
know
heard
how he
speak.
talks, but that's based on how he types on Facebook. It probably says
And
something like that.
was I talking in all caps?
It may be.
Okay.
But you did pronounce words and seemingly put them in the right letter order.
So I'm already
Speaking
ahead
of
the game.
like beer prices going up, though,
Yeah. You got
It's
anything to say
happening.
about that?
Yeah, so it's unfortunate too, and I'm sure that you can attest to a lot.
we
of
talked
the-
about it a little bit a few weeks
yeah,
ago. It's gotten
I mean,
worse,
The ingredients, like cost of everything, is going up
fast right now.
Yeah, I mean you're
Every
looking
week it's like 10% up.
you see it in the grocery store, you see it in the liquor store, you see it, at the restaurants.
Yeah.
Everything is going up. You're seeing in your ingredients, our cost of ingredients are going up, everything's going up. So everybody's going to see a massive price increase across the board within the next month.
All
I mean,
breweries?
You're
I
talking about the
mean-
big breweries. You're talking down to regional and local breweries.
And that's when it comes back to that same situation, like back pre-prohibition, when the economy was just all, we'll try not to get political, but just kind of all askew. It wasn't really in any kind of an equilibrium. And the people who have big pocketbooks at that point can, again, we'll use the same metaphor, but they can just kind of afford to cut those corners and whatnot. Or people who are business model is based around making good quality products, treating their people fairly, taking care of their customers,
Yeah.
being good stewards of the earth, taking care of the land-based amphibians. Those people have those are the people who are going to hurt first.
Corporations
And-
are people too.
Yeah, right. Well, legally, yeah, apparently.
Is aluminum still pretty high priced too?
It is high priced, correct. So what we're doing is, you can see, is like we have the sleeved on cans.
Yeah.
Like it's, the big companies like Ball, Arda, like they're not taking on new printed on can,
Wow.
customers unless you already had like a pre-existing relationship with
Yeah.
them. So
These do feel pretty snazzy though.
I mean,
Yeah, these are
they're
nice.
nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it gives you. I mean, it gives us the flexibility that we don't have to order 25 pallets, full of cans.
Yeah.
We can split a truckload. I can order, one pallet of cans like this.
I think you should just leave them all blank, and then when you buy, it's a mystery, and then you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like customer figured out. Like, here's what it could be.
I think that's how they invented white airheads. Somebody's like, oh, fuck, we have no idea what flavor these are. Just put them in a white thing and say they're mystery flavored.
No, like I've always, in a lot of other breweries, we always try to want to like.
That's
cater
business,
to-
David. I can't explain
That's
business
number
to
one.
That's
you.
marketing.
Sorry, Drew.
No,
I have to
no,
yell
no,
at
no.
David at least once every episode.
That's it. That's all you got.
Well, yeah, at least once. That's
not
where we
everybody
start.
else, though. But yeah, I mean, everyone's been always so timid to break that $10 price point. Like everyone wants to hover that $9.99. It's.
I've always
it-
found Fall City beers to be one of, like, if I'm buying beer at Kroger, it's usually your alls or Wessex, just because
appreciate
like it's always there. I know it's always going to be good. Usually there's a seasonal release that I want that you guys are doing that's like
Yeah.
something different in the rotation, and
And for every six
It's
pack of
great.
beer from Fall City you buy, Drew gets to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That's right. My
Yeah.
kid gets these at peanut
Yeah,
butter and
exactly.
jelly
Oh
sandwich.
yeah, the
Yeah.
kids come first.
you're
That's
keeping
right.
money local.
That's right. But no, I mean, you're going to see a lot of breweries that were below $10 go above $10. I think
Yeah.
that you're going to, the ones that are going to stay below that $10 price point are the ones that are doing it on a much bigger scale, but still small craft. So I'm guessing Sierra, New Belgium, Sam Adams are probably still going to stay under that $10 price point.
Yeah.
They're not craft.
Yes, they are.
The
Dude,
Brewers
I will.
Association.
Sierra
Well,
Nevada.
we're getting to that point where it's
I
all
don't, if I
kind
don't
of-
have my beer or Against the Grain for Kayla in our house, that
Okay, let me
if we're-
rephrase
we're-
that. Sam Adams.
Okay. Yeah, but you're putting Sam Adams and Dogfish in the same sentence at this point now.
But
too.
they raise the cap every year just based on whatever they produce.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's also just the price of everything going up too.
No, like the barrels per year that qualify you to be
Okay.
A craft brewery.
I think it's
Yeah.
independent or
Yeah,
what's
the
the
independent.
designation?
It's independent craft brewer, but and I don't remember what the barrelage is. My opinion is that craft beer is dead in the sense that we've been, as a community, been talking about
And it is
over the
we who
last-
have killed him.
Yes, and we have killed him. But
It is self-immolated.
and now it is
That's
more along
Nietzsche.
the lines of like, what does independent mean anymore?
Exactly,
Like, is Bell's
Independent.
craft?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Put, I mean, you
it
can put
is.
the independent logo on everything, but
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Bell's stepping down. That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
big move.
So I don't know.
Um,
I mean,
Sierra Nevada, yeah. I mean, they're. I don't know. They're a big boy, but I think that they're still my favorite
Yeah.
brewery. I mean, I there's nothing beats a fresh Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Yep.
I think they have.
Celebration's my favorite seasonal across the board.
I buy it every
year-round.
year. Yeah, as soon as
I
I see it, I
can't,
buy
yeah.
it in like October.
I think Sierra Nevada has 2 of the top 5 or top 10 grocery store IPAs.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
Between Hazy Little Thing and
Torpedo.
maybe.
That's like their
Yeah.
extra IPA.
Oh, so
or
it's
whatever.
interesting though. I mean, because they are.
If I'm getting anything at the grocery store, if it's an IPA, it's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or Bell's Too Hard.
Yep. Yeah.
That's it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
definitely
You literally didn't say Falls City.
I
You can get
You
that.
can get that for yeah.
Why would you pay Kroger?
I get a little. I do buy my beer from Kroger, just to try and get
You gotta
those.
see what's
the
out
scan
there,
data.
see what's coming off the shelves.
Throw a scan data in
Yeah,
there.
sometimes you might see like a 16-ounce, 6-pack of
Yeah,
Pilsner
it's
out of
been there a little bit too long.
Well,
A little bit
speaking
longer
of
than
like
two.
just staying abreast of what big beer is doing, you want to do the segue since you're the host?
No, I have a list of topics I'm going through because I'm hosting, and the next segment is actually show and tell.
Oh, okay.
We've invited Drew to bring something that he loves
and he's
show
excited
us.
about.
And is excited to show us and then tell us about it.
We should make a theme song for this segment in the future.
I know you gotta get
How,
some
how,
little
would, how would
snippets.
that theme song go, John?
Some people like to show you some things.
Nope.
Some
Stop
people
it.
like to
Stop
tell you.
It's already creepy.
Yeah.
So I like
So while you're getting that together,
you asked me about the show and tell, so I brought 2 things. You said like beer and then something not beer, right?
it was a suggestion.
It's
Okay.
open ended.
Baseball cards.
Yeah.
All right.
In the meantime, we did release a beer last Saturday with Logan Street Market, Wild House Brewing.
I'll wait
It's
to
a
get my beer out then.
Great. No, go.
No,
go.
no,
I'm just,
we're filling time.
this is just holy.
Holy shit!
What? We're
Wow.
gonna die.
We'll die.
We're gonna die.
Drew just brought out Sam Adams Utopias.
And I just talk shit about them. So
Talk about a segue.
Yeah.
here we go. Talk about price increases. That's not a cheap.
that's an expensive pour. I think I paid $15 for 1 ounce one time.
So this was back in the day in my days of ordering beer for Liquor Barn. I would get one of those courteous.
Oh,
So that
So
one's from 2015.
Wow.
Wow.
if you're unfamiliar with Sam Adams Utopias, it is a just massive barrel.
Malt
Shout out
liquor.
to
Malt
Fred
liquor.
Scaglione. I can't remember how. Like my Sam Adams rep was a trip. He was.
What if I dropped it right now? Get this out of my hand.
But it comes in this like bronze pot still. It usually retails for well over $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like our cost was like $150.
Holy cow. Well, that's special. You've never opened it.
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
I think I like
There's
put
a
the
cap
top back
on
on
it.
it.
I was wondering. I actually didn't. I knew it was a screw on. I didn't realize it was capped.
I didn't want to like steal the thunder from y'all's beer. Let's do that one first.
No. Let's do this first.
We're not
Make
drinking
everything
that
else more
beer. We're
fun.
just
We're not
talking
drinking.
about
We're
it.
just
Sorry,
talking
just
about
talking about it.
Yeah. So yeah, we did a saison with Wild Hops Brewing, which is located inside of Logan Street Market. Really cool beer. Saison with rose hips
And rose
then
petals. Rose water that we
rose
made
water.
this morning.
Kisbeck hops, and I don't remember the yeast strain.
Farmhouse. Lalamon.
Really dry.
Thank you, sir.
Really interesting. If you're not familiar, we do a series of collaborations with local breweries called endearingly the Legend series. That's not. We are of certain course legends, but also it plays into the trail theme of a legend on a map.
Yeah.
Anyhow, So that's out now if you want to stop by and have a pour, grab a bottle. We worked with Blake over there. He's excellent. Had a really good time.
Blake used to work with us at Fall City.
Nice.
Oh. Is that why you called him Balake?
Balake.
All right.
Blake was great. Like it was so funny because he told us that he was putting his 2 weeks to go work somewhere else. I think that when he moved to town, he kind of put his resume in everywhere and like, yeah, we need some money. He came in, he was great, and he wouldn't tell us where he was going. So it's just every day we're coming in there like trying to make up some different like off the wall scenario. It's like, so you're CIA.
Yeah. Elon Musk hired you.
So
You worked for a 3-letter. And
Yeah,
you can't
so
tell us.
you're going to work Secret Service with the new president, correct? It's like every day. So and they found out he's going. I was like, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
totally.
And he's done great things. What he's working with over there.
Logan Street Market's a cool project, and a
Love
cool
it,
place
love
too.
it.
It's a
And
fun.
he's making some great beer.
Yeah, 100%.
So we talked about expensive beers on the last 2
Yeah.
podcasts, I guess, and now we have a very expensive beer here.
It's about as big as it gets. So
Yeah.
smells like cognac.
Yeah,
Like,
so
it
it's
just
more.
smells
It's,
like
it's-
alcohol.
yeah, it's more like a port and a cognac.
I've
than it
always
is a beer.
said it's really interesting when you can
28% alcohol.
when your beer can be described or like described in proof instead of
Yeah.
just ABV percentage.
Yeah.
Ale brewed with maple syrup and aged in bourbon, ruby port, sweet Madeira, white. I don't even try and pronounce that last word. Cognac and Armagnac barrels. So I mean, that's a lot.
You can't even
Yeah.
sell this beer in a couple states.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Like, because it's
It's
because
beer.
of the proof on it.
How do they make this? Do they like freeze distill it? Do they just like dose it up? Yeast are gonna die unless they have some kind of a freak mutant yeast strain they put in there.
I think it's like a blend of. I'm gonna get this wrong, but I did go to a beer dinner one time. This was like the dessert course, but it's like a blend of like super wet barrels, basically.
So they suck a lot of the alcohol from the barrel.
Yeah.
and that's why you get like the cognac or
Yeah, I
Armagnac.
mean, you get the cognac.
Like I smelled it before I picked it up off
Yeah,
the table.
me too,
yeah.
But thank you for bringing this.
My sinuses
you.
are
No
open for the
problem.
first time all
Yeah.
February.
This is wonderful.
All right, so sip. Cheers.
Do you want to walk us through the tasting?
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
put the glass next to your lips.
Yeah. Well, I understand how to taste.
right.
Inhale.
So you just want to let your mouth open a little bit and just bring it in. You want to bring it through your nose, just like
And you exhale through your mouth.
kind of do like a drive by, so you don't get all the alcohol right up to your nose immediately.
I mean, it's boozy, but it's not over the top.
Yeah, it smells
it's
boozier than it tastes. In all
Sweeter
honesty.
side, you
Yeah.
get that kind of Madeira, that
Mhm.
kind of like dark dry fruit, kind of
Super,
cherry.
yeah, rich cherry.
Yeah.
This is a lot more cherry than I ever remember tasting in this.
Yeah.
It's also an old one.
I was
so-
gonna say
Yeah.
this
and
is
it's been open before.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's been open, so I mean, it's basically me putting the cap back on
Yeah.
and like putting that back on. So I mean, it's going to be a little bit oxidized.
But
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna,
it-
I was
definitely
gonna
color,
say
but-
is like I don't think you can oxidize a beer or a 28%.
Yeah, I mean, for
whatever
this thing, I
this
mean,
is.
it's not meant to be,
Yeah.
consumed all at once. You
No,
can put the
you'll
cap
die.
back on it. And you
I would
can-
actually be really concerned if someone.
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
did somebody do a video where they like
the
Shoved one of those.
Alabama hog boss guy.
I almost threw up
Yeah.
just watching that video. Yeah,
I mean, it's good. It's nothing like this Fall City Pilsner, but
it's all about balance, as my
all
friend
about
David Satterley would
not
say.
quite as old,
not quite as old. Just moderately old.
just a little bit old.
Kind of like you.
Yeah.
But that's super special. And Sam Adams is like, as you know, as much as we can complain about them being
Man, it's-
macro beer adjacent, they still are.
Everybody,
good
I
company.
mean, you can't knock them too much. I
Yeah.
mean, they really help kind of put
Yep.
this whole thing on
Oh.
the map, along with Sierra Nevada.
Yep.
I mean, the Boston Lager and everything that Sam Adams has done. It's they've also like fucked up the whole seasonal release
Yeah.
calendar.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, I mean, they hosted the homebrew competition,
beer
right?
camp that they
Beer
used to
camp?
do. Well, that was Sierra Nevada. No.
Sierra Nevada's beer camp.
Yeah, they did one back. They used to do
They did a
whatever it was
homebrewers
called.
competition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but then also shout out to Kate at Hopkinsville Brewing, who won,
Yeah,
won
that's
a
right.
nationwide
Yep.
competition
Which-
and got to brew
Well deserved by
at
her.
Boston.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love their spot. Like we have a family farm down in Western Kentucky, about 10-15 minutes from there. So we
Oh,
go
I've
nice.
never been invited.
get there.
Get there.
Okay,
2.5 hours. Come down. We got plenty of spots.
I'll camp down there.
All right, we got
So-
plenty of
So
room.
that was the. I don't know if that was the show or the tell. Did
I don't know.
Did you bring other fun things?
What else you got for us? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
clearly this wasn't enough.
I mean,
so-
this is like.
Some
Some
music,
people
like
like to
it's all-
show
yeah,
you some
it's like-
things. Some people like to tell.
Live music, man. Like, so this is
Oh,
like
Oh.
that's great.
Is
So
this
like
the CD?
every like
Oh my
concert,
God.
yeah, every concert I've been to since
We'll get a close-up view here for the people on
way
Patreon.
back when. So this is like after I get my family and pets and everything out of a burning house, like
That's
like,
next.
Yeah, this is next. Yeah,
Wow.
dating back to a Weezer concert in
That's awesome.
Early
Drew
97.
just got out a full binder full of just everything.
concert
Like,
tickets. So that's only dating up to how far did I get in this thing? Only to 05, and then all these other tickets are everything from after that. So
Yeah, what is this
Yeah.
weird like it's like almost like a kind of a card kind of thing? It's like got ink on it. What
oh, it's an actual concert ticket
Wait,
that
what?
used to exist back in the day. It's
I keep
crazy,
is it a
like-
cell phone screen? I
can't-
don't
no,
get it.
I keep my concert tickets. They're in a
Dude,
lunchbox.
all of them, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a joke that people
There's a
don't
lot of like
really
old
use
shit
concert
back in
tickets
here,
anymore.
like BB King,
Oh, hell
Bella
yeah.
Fleck,
Wow.
Leonard Skinner.
Bella Fleck? Like a long time ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bella
well, and-
Fleck.
well,
from
and the- and the-
90s.
Still rocking.
and the Flecktones.
Yeah,
and the
Abigail
Flecktones.
Washburn.
Fuck yeah, the Flecktones. There's a lot of fish in here.
Yeah, I couldn't tell based on your Nalgene fish.
Yeah.
I actually had no. You hide it well because usually fish fans let you know they're fish fans.
Loud and
right
proud
away.
about it.
Like
Nah.
vegetarians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know if somebody drives a BMW?
Yeah. So tell you about
Don't
it
worry,
all the
they'll
time.
let you know. Yeah.
Don't worry, they won't use the turn signal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so this is my
What
That's
was there-
awesome, man.
What in there is like if you just had to skim through a top 3, 4?
man, top concerts. I'd say BB King was
Yeah,
one
that's
of
cool.
I was going with my dad.
Oh, hell yeah.
Seeing some, old school bluegrass, Doc Watson, David
Mm-hmm.
Grisman. Yeah, I mean a lot of Fish, but I mean Fish was always more about like the concert experience. It's been something doing with my friends back till '98,
Do
Oh,
what
yeah.
with your friends?
hanging out,
Listening to fish.
going to music festivals.
How many grilled cheeses were consumed?
A lot.
If you had to just throw out 3 artists you want to see this year, they're still like you're still hyped up about.
And assuming they won't get canceled by COVID.
Right. All right, oh, man.
Well, luckily, they're all performing at Forecastle. So.
Yeah.
yeah.
All of them.
Oh man, like the music festival lineups these years just make me feel just old as shit.
Me too.
Me too.
I don't even know half.
Well,
these
I make you
people.
feel the shit too.
You do. I don't know. Like I could really like. There's not any particular band that I want to see. Like there's just I want to see all of it. Like,
Yeah.
I
Is
just like
Is there any venue that you'd like to see that you haven't been to yet?
I like to go. Yeah, Madison Square Garden. Never been there. Fillmore out in California. The Gorge
Mhm.
up in Washington State.
Cool.
Those are probably the big ones.
That's dope.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hope Fish goes there.
Yeah, they have been to those places.
But you
this.
haven't.
I haven't. But
I hope the universe brings everybody there together
it will all take
in
us there.
harmony.
We're
No, I mean,
manifesting
I
this.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, live music and is I think one of my favorite things.
Well, it's super cool that you collect all that stuff too,
Yeah,
because it's
I mean, that is like memories I can go back there and look
Yeah,
at. I was like,
exactly.
I remember all that shit.
I'm much nerdier and do something similar, but with movie stubs
oh nice.
since 2003. So like,
Pretty good.
when you were like 40.
How does it
I-
check
I-
that? That does not add up.
I
I'll
do.
always remember that time I saw 50 First Dates in
Spider-Man
2006.
2.
Yeah.
No, I started with Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh,
and I
that's
saw
yeah,
it
totally.
with my dad, and I knew that at that moment I was like, you know what, this is a special movie. I should keep this ticket stub, and then I just kept them all.
So I mean, I appreciate that because I mean that's the same. I mean, it's the same type of experience. You're going to see something. I mean, seeing a movie.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's the same effect of like seeing a movie in the theater versus seeing a
Yeah,
movie at home.
right.
Seeing a concert live versus listening to a CD at
Yeah,
home or
mhm.
listen to a record at home.
There's
Like, you're like-
anticipation.
yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Like you don't like.
Like there's a
it's-
girl next to you that you're probably gonna make out with for half the movie.
I-
no.
Yes,
no.
the yawn and reach around. But yeah, so I'll go through those ticket stubs and like remember, oh man, I haven't seen him in a decade. I remember going to the Tinseltown for that one. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, why did I see Hitch twice that week?
Oh, you know why you saw this.
It's like speed dating.
Yeah,
Speed
I was
dating
gonna
week.
say, like, that's such a random.
Speed dating the 2 hours.
Well,
of
shit. If it
silence.
doesn't work out with this one, I'll just take the next one.
Movies are cheap, right?
So I was at Hallstop the other night, and they were talking about like, the bartender and someone sitting at the table were talking about like tickets that they were getting. It's like, where are you going? It's like, I was curious. Like, what are you all going to see? Because you're excited. It's like, oh yeah, we got tickets. I don't know. So and so doesn't have a ticket. We can probably get them one. I'm like, what ticket? You're like, what concert are you going to see? Like, Batman. It's like, all right. Yeah, I mean, I'm amped to see Batman, but I did not like think that you would like plan out
Yeah.
ahead that far. that
It's
the movie
it's
doesn't
like a
come out.
month in advance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, they just went on sale. I was like, almost.
Oh, is that's the new one with Robert Pattinson or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people get inside. I do that.
Yeah,
with
I'm
concert
not.
tickets. I mean,
I'm not.
no,
I'm just
saying-
saying, like, it's a very similar thing. It's like, hey, you're like
Yeah.
you're amped up to go see, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm excited to see that movie too. I just wouldn't think to.
like traveling for concerts is cool too because you get to experience a new
Yeah.
city and then have
Yep.
a new experience and like a band that you've seen a bunch of times like maybe
Yeah.
Fish, you kind of anticipate that experience, but then you've got like a whole new setting and
Mhm. Especially if you're a beer person too. That's always one of the most fun parts about
Yeah.
traveling is like checking out local breweries or finding
Yeah.
a little your spot or wherever you like to go.
Picking up a local brewery passport program of some sorts, maybe, and exploring the local brewery scene.
like the Louisville Ale Trail.
So Kayla was like, whenever we go, you know, travel anywhere, she's like, we're not going to spend the whole vacation just going to breweries.
Yeah, right.
It's like, we're going to spend part of it going to breweries.
that's what you think.
That's what you think. And she's
Yeah.
happy when we go there.
Just can't just bounce around the room like that.
That's a Fish reference. I don't know if you got that one.
No, I didn't.
No, I only walk on camels.
Yeah, can walk.
Well, John has prepared something quite spectacular for the evening. He really wants to, since we've now warmed up our palates with Sam Adams Utopias.
Yeah.
We're going to have a very discerning blind tasting.
Okay.
So,
A
John,
beer you can get at the grocery store.
beer you can get at the grocery store.
All right.
I don't really know if we have an objective in this, but we'll just drink them and we'll see what they talk about. And
I
then
got
at
some
the
beers.
end,
Let's drink them.
yeah, I'll tell you what they are.
All right.
We got beers, we'll drink.
All right.
You guys fill
Um,
the silence for 20 seconds.
Or we can just cut this out.
Nope, no editing.
I vote Mueller. Mueller's been quiet.
If you don't want any more, you can.
I'm allotted to 1 ounce of Utopias per 5 years.
I know,
So-
right?
That's a lot.
It's special though. I really
No,
do
thank
appreciate
you.
that.
That is. I was not expecting to see that. I always love that weird purple hue to it too.
It has like a patina.
Yeah.
Almost.
A what?
A patina?
Yeah, Patine. Is
Rick
that
Pa-
Patine? Yeah.
Rick
No,
Patino?
poutine.
Rick
is-
Patina?
Rick Patino.
No, poutine. Is that what you're talking about?
Poutine?
Like
The
the
gravy
potatoes?
and French fries.
Gravy
Yeah, I
taters?
gotta fuck up some poutine right now.
Let's get a 4 pegs.
Have you ever had lamb fries?
Lamb fries.
Yeah, did you know they're testicles?
I have not heard of lamb fries, and B would not have guessed that they were testicles.
Oh, well, I had a friend that ate them once, and he didn't know they were testicles
Okay.
until he did. And then he was very vocal about the fact that he...
It's good clarity.
All right, so
What do I need to know going into this?
not much. I guess we don't really have. We should have made a shtick, but we didn't. But are all domestic beers created equally? And we were talking about what does big beer even mean? What does domestic beer even mean anymore?
What does craft beer mean anymore?
Yeah. So what we have are just some what you might call domestic beers to taste, and we'll just do tastings. We'll see what we think, and
So we're
It'll be-
supposed to
it's
try
gonna
and
be
guess
super
what these
educational.
are,
No,
or just
not
just
necessarily. You can if you want. Certainly.
Yeah, if you- I mean, these are all grocery store bought beers.
Can you
Yeah.
say if you?
There's, you know how
if
many
you
beers
like
are
them or
available in a
not?
grocery store? A lot.
I only buy the same like 3 ones.
Yeah.
Fall City Pilsner, Fall City Streetland Porter, and Fall City Pale Ale.
Uh-huh.
Me too.
Yeah, hilarious.
Ooh, I thought I knew what that was, but then I wasn't so sure at the end. I don't know.
Coming off of dry January, I have been just drinking mostly like light beers.
You got to ease back into it.
Yeah.
You can't go. Well, we did. We had Utopias, but
Yeah.
you know, this-
Yeah, we went full bore.
Again, we probably should have done this before that. But
So, what are you getting out of this right now?
who, me?
It's
Yeah.
kind of back to that idea of like beer that doesn't have a lot of taste. Like it back was Billy Beer days or whatever. Who knows what that beer would have tasted like? I have a can of it over there somewhere.
is anybody
crack
marketing bitter-free beer nowadays?
No, it's the opposite. They want bitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Like I don't get a lot. I mean, you get just kind of like the
It's corn.
kind of corn and yellow
Yeah.
straw and
Are you telling us what they are, or are we waiting until the end?
I don't know. You're the host. What do you want to do?
You're
We'll
hosting.
let's taste them all quickly, and then we'll
Let's
tell
taste
what
them
they are, and
quickly.
we can talk about it.
Okay, all right. So is this beer familiar to you?
I mean, it tastes like it's not one. It doesn't taste like one of the normal rotation of light lagers that I keep in my house.
Right.
Mass produced light lagers.
Mass produced.
Of course, what does mass produced mean?
right.
It's subjective. That's for certain.
Should I do a cuvee of this and my remaining utopias?
I guess wasting you.
I don't see why not. It's a domestic utopian lager.
Yes. We really hope that you listeners at this point have decided to.
Oh shit! I forgot we were like happy with
Yeah. We really hope at this point you've decided to subscribe to our Patreon channel, so at least you can get some visual entertainment out of this as well as audio.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean it's $3. $3.
$3 every month, every
Every month, but you know, I mean it's you can do that.
That's the cost of
Cancel anytime.
half pint.
Yeah.
There's like a half an SRM difference between these.
Really?
Maybe 0.25 SRMs.
Nerd alert.
John, tell us what SRMs are.
I don't know what it stands for, but it's a reference to the color right there. Standard Moray units or SCSR.
We're in a fucking homebrew shop.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
All you
Stands
draw
for
is
either.
pictures of horses.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right, let's try this one then.
Let's try it.
Again, yeah, it's a little slightly different color. Any scents here? Any smells?
No.
Nothing. No.
Tastes like light.
You get more body, more flavor out of that one.
Yeah,
First one was pretty thin.
this is a lot heavier compared to that. It doesn't help that these are also kind of warm, by the way.
Are they?
That should actually help more to get more of the
More
flavor.
You're
out
not
of it.
drinking these.
What? No,
David is not drinking these.
I'm hosting, which is one thing, but also I have this great
That's a
Fall City
strong-
Pilsner.
Yeah, is it?
It's great.
Good.
These are fine. This is beer flavored beer. I'm waiting for some kind of like standout. Yeah.
What, the Utopia didn't do that for the stand
No, it did. That's why I'm so disinterested. But this was actually my idea, so this is really irrelevant.
Yeah.
We can talk about Trey Anastasio.
We could. Yeah,
We could.
good reference. So my buddy Nick got me a bobblehead of Trey. And I was going to put it in my office, but put it up on top of the dresser. And now Hunter cannot stop climbing up the dresser to grab it off the top there. So,
Oh, well, bobbleheads are fun.
yeah, they are. And create a David Satterley bobblehead.
Well,
Can we sell that for Louisville Beer Week?
Yeah.
Sure.
Beanie and all.
Well, I mean,
And shorts.
so for Louisville Beer Week last year, this is our 4th year hosting. Last year, this year will be the 5th. So he's got some pretty cool stuff planned. But maybe a couple days before, I made up a list of just fake events that weren't going to happen. But the internet's a scary place, and
Yeah.
people are not perceptive to sarcasm over text with zero context. And I guess they just kind of believe me. But my favorite fake superlative event by far was Draw Drew Day, which is this guy. If you're on the Patreon, you'll see exactly what it looks like. If not, we're gonna splice in the picture that I drew.
Yeah.
He just
Oh,
looks like
yeah,
every
yeah.
other redhead.
Yeah. Well, the requirement was that you had to only use orange and orange shade crowns.
Oh. And he brought his own.
crowns.
Crowns?
Crayons.
Crayons?
No, I didn't. Fall City is
Roads?
packed with
Rudes.
games.
Games.
I stole those crowns from Fall City.
There was some beautiful art that was created that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah.
can blame Tyler. Tyler threw it away. I was going to hang it up in my office.
Number 3.
Number 3.
All right. Good head retention. Better head retention than the last two.
Whole SRM darker.
Well, you get a little bit of I mean, on number 2, you got a little bit of lacing there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, not for me, but yeah.
So none of these stand out as like a familiar, like, oh, I know what that is.
And I'm going to sound like an idiot when I say, hey, I normally just drink, Banquet or High Life, and none of these taste like any of those.
So that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. I know Banquet and Coors Light and High Life pretty well.
Yeah.
And I would say that with
If anyone, I
80%
would say-
confidence, none of these are either of those beers.
The third one tastes a little bit more familiar, has a little bit more, I feel, a little bit more hop character than the first two.
I'm just gonna remember more familiar, and we'll make fun of. We'll circle back to that again later.
Okay.
More familiar on what?
Yeah, from your palate.
What
Yeah,
did I say? All right.
More familiar.
Okay. All right.
All right. What's number 4?
Number 4.
Damn, there's more. How many are
There's
there?
only 4.
There's
There's
only
only
four.
four.
If you're on Patreon right now, you probably just saw a piece of cardboard fly when John sat up. And that is because our 4th chair here is actually a corny keg with a piece of cardboard on it as a seat.
So if you could subscribe, you could buy John
Just-
a seat.
Please. Every little bit helps. Every cent goes towards us having a 4th chair.
You get 10 subscribers on Patreon.
We might be able
Buy
to buy
chairs.
another chair. Thank you.
For the cost of one small bag of dog treats.
In the arms of an angel.
Thank you.
All right,
Sarah McLaughlin.
number 4. Let's.
Just make everybody cry.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Whoa. This smells different.
Lots more hop character.
Mm-hmm.
How many SRM differences?
Oh, well, that's a great question, David.
Several.
It's lighter.
It's a little bit lighter than the last one, actually.
More straw.
A lot better head retention, I would say, at least on mine.
on this one.
I dare to say import on this one.
Yeah.
If we're just saying like gas
I'm gonna
station,
say-
or we're just saying grocery store beer, so we're not just saying domestic, we're just saying grocery store, right?
Grocery
Yeah,
store.
it actually does have more flavor than the other ones, too.
I'm gonna guess on this one right away and say Bitburger.
If I'm a grocer, then I've had all these
You're
before.
pretty gross.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks.
The big reveal, guys. Can you stand it? You can hardly stand it.
Let's-
You want to go?
Let's
can't-
talk about it.
I
Yeah.
can't stand.
Tell me which one you want to know first.
All of them.
Well, Drew said 3 was most familiar.
Yeah.
It'd be funniest to save that one for the end, but let's do it now.
No,
All right.
at the end.
All right, so
You're the
we'll
host.
Save that one for the end.
Let's say the first one has got to be something like
Like a bush.
ultra or what? Yeah, Bush, something like that.
Not
Yeah.
far off.
Oh,
right.
Blue
Tall
Mountains.
boy. Good old
Interesting.
Coors Light.
I haven't had Coors Light. My mother-in-law loves some Coors Light.
What'd you call it?
Old Rockies.
The Colorado water or something?
Yeah,
No,
that's what
the
they say.
Colorado Kool-Aid is.
Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid.
That's the banquet though.
Wow, okay.
Rolling
Rolling
Rock.
A pil-
Yeah.
it's not even a pilsner. I think it's a blonde. Or they call it an extra pale ale.
So that's number 2.
Haven't had that in forever. That was
So that's
number two.
And
Yeah.
you get an extra ounce. It's a 25-ounce can.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't had Rolling Rock.
What
I
a
can tell you
bargain.
how
We'll
long.
skip number
Well,
3,
you've had it,
which was
like-
Drew's favorite.
All right.
Number 4 is
Fall City
Some
Pilsner.
motherfucking bullshit.
So no, there'll be a point at the end of all this.
I think it does taste like an import, though.
I mean,
And
that's-
it's
that'll be
imported
the point.
from fucking
from
Phoenix
Liberty
Hill.
Street.
Yeah.
And Drew's favorite,
God damn it.
Old English on number 3.
Old English malt liquor. That
That was the one
familiar
that was most
taste.
familiar.
Throwback.
All
That
right.
in the old in the St. Ives Special Brew.
Oh, man.
So in the same 15-minute span, we drank Sam Adams Utopias, Coors Light, Rolling Rock, Old English.
malt liquor
And Fall
and Fall
City.
City
Fall
Pills with a little bit of
Yeah.
a Fall City Bock thrown in as well for good measure. So did we learn anything here? No. Was it fun? Not really. But was it?
I had fun.
I had fun, too.
I had fun.
I had one fun.
My
had
main
one
takeaway
fun.
is how not disgusting the Old English is.
Better
It's
than I
really
thought.
not. It's really not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Blind tastings always
And
tell you.
how much different the Fall City actually does taste compared to all these other ones.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it actually
you
tastes
didn't-
like beer.
Well, if you would have got a fresh Fall City,
Even better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been a lot
All
better.
right, so since he just said that, I think we can say that John, in very with good intentions, tried to go to a liquor store today and picked up some Pilsner.
That was about 6 months old.
That's 6
so.
months old.
You know what?
It's
And
all
that,
good.
and
That
that's,
tastes fine.
It's
I
great.
mean, it's the nature of the beast. You know?
Yeah, that's
It's,
true.
You're gonna find old beer everywhere, and we try to do our best to make sure that the beer out there is as fresh as possible. But you know,
Check them dates.
All right, so
check the dates.
So let's put aside that out of date Pilsner. Can you rank these 3 beers that you just tasted?
Oh, we already
Man,
know what's
like-
the first.
I mean, honestly, I think OE was my favorite.
Okay.
I still, only because Drew's here will I say this, but the Fall City is my favorite.
Yeah.
It tastes more like a German.
That
like,
absolutely
lager. It tastes
was
more like
right
I
off
mean,
the
if
bat.
I'm not gonna say my own thing, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this
you're
tasted
right.
more
It's
like a German like Pilsner.
It's
But
got
if I'm
that
like,
hop
I'm gonna
aroma.
take my own beer out of it.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go between OE,
for me second by far. The Old English, it's fantastic.
yeah, Rolling Rock and Coors Light.
Old
Yeah.
English. If you want
All
to
right.
sponsor a podcast,
Welcome
Yeah.
to Old English
radio
Hour.
I
haven't
did not
talked
think that
about
like, hey,
Highway.
on a Thursday now, so I can come out here and drink fucking old English. But
What is
here
the
I am.
ABV on Old English anyway?
800.
Great.
I think the last time I drank this, I was probably like 17 or 18.
It's 800 ABV.
I was driving in Cherokee Park in my Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, there he goes. Just keep throwing it
And
in
we
there.
found one of these under the seat. It was summer, so it was not warm. It was hot.
And you shotgunned it.
We drank it. It was so bad.
This is the first time I've ever had Old English.
It's
never
the
done it
second
before.
time I've ever had it. I don't.
It takes
know
me
why
back.
It gets such a bad rep.
I know.
Yeah.
OE?
Did you find that ABV?
What's
on
the
it?
price point?
No, I didn't.
What's the price point on this?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
$2?
Like yeah, probably
$2.50?
$2.
I think you can get 2 for $3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
All
nuts.
And a shiny nickel.
Yeah.
All right, well, next episode we're gonna do 40-ounce beers.
Hey, but over-
Oh,
40
Edward 40
hands.
Hands. Halloween episode. We're playing Edward 40 Hands.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys will host because I'm pretty good.
David, I
host.
have to say, despite all the shit that we've
I
given,
don't
you've
need
done an
your-
excellent
I
job
don't need your
hosting.
praise.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
good.
Well, it's there. It's there regardless.
It's good. Well, Drew,
I have one question. I want to turn it back on to John.
Bring it.
It's like, so we were talking about like price increase and everything. Like, how is everything going for the homebrew shop?
Yeah.
What do you?
And if everything imported is up about 100%.
Yeah.
It happened to Belgian malt. I can't even remember when, but like a year ago. Dingeman's was the one I remember going up. It used to be what, $35 a sack wholesale, and then it was like $55, $60 a sack wholesale. And then just in the past couple weeks, really, like the last month is when I started noticing it with some of the German stuff, like Avantgarde is what we primarily will get from Germany.
Wireman.
Wireman I can hardly even find anywhere, even if it's like, I just can't find it. So I don't know how much it is. I think maybe Country Malt Group still does it, but I haven't checked recently.
Do you ever think about how W is actually a double V?
Wireman. Yeah.
Okay.
It also sounds like fireman, so maybe there's a connection there. And then just recently, I'd say in the past 2 weeks, I guess at this point, all the English stuff went the same way. So like the Muntins and the Crisp, all the Maris Otter stuff, we just don't have. Golden Promise, don't have. And domestic stuff right now, I'd say generally it's about like 10 to 15% higher, depending on, what it is or
You're
whatever.
still seeing the same amount of like people coming in, getting.
People
Same
have
amount of
asked
homebrewers?
for stuff like that. Oh yeah, our business has been fairly steady. We talked about it last week, but there's been other segments that have been booming. Mead is out of control in the homebrew industry right now. Like every one out of every
It's very hot
four
right now.
people. Mead's very hot right now. I don't know if you guys knew. Like
So
one out of
hot.
every 4 people wants to make mead. And then, well, yeah, it's me.
Not me.
It's
not me.
Let's be honest, it's you.
It's not me.
So with price increases of like the big guys, if you want to say that, is there now the idea for whether it's maybe not a home brewer, but just like a craft brewer to be like, hey, you know what? Since these prices are basically the same, let me go try to seek out a maltster that's local to me.
That's what we've been trying to do.
Is that happening?
Yeah. So instead of just paying through the ass for like the imported stuff, I mean, there's so much more domestic malt than there used to be. Everything here locally, we've got the
So shout out to RTKs from South Fork.
the
Really,
South
yeah.
Fork guys.
We're wanting to use some of their malt here soon.
We actually did in our Wild Hops collab.
Nice.
We just talked to a guy recently with Riverbend Malting, I think. They're in North Carolina.
Yeah, they're actually.
We've been using some of the Montana malt from those guys. That stuff seems like people are really enjoying it. They have a really nice like high country Pilsner malt that's, to me, like almost as crisp and clean really as the stuff from Germany. I think that's what they use in Old English, actually.
Does it conform to a Reinheitsgebot?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I just want to make sure, like with all that, you're going to see price increases across every package. From
It's just, yeah.
Bud Miller Coors, local, regional, everything.
I mean, but then shipping is up.
Yeah, freight's up.
You
Gas-
can't
I mean,
put it
that's-
in an order. Usually, you
Yeah.
can put it in an order on Sunday, and we expect to get it on Wednesday. And it's like clockwork. I kind of base our buying around that timeline. And now I put it in an order, and it gets here when it gets here. Like
Yeah.
it might take 4 days. It might take 3
Marketing
weeks.
managers
When-
are expensive too.
When I go
That
to
they
a
are.
place
Byron.
like New York City, and a lot of this has to do with taxes, I know that
Sure.
already, but if I go to New York City, I'm paying a lot for a pint.
Yeah.
somewhere. Or 12 ounce even. Here in Louisville, we're still pretty lucky to have a lower cost of drinking, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do see
So
it.
that's our sales pitch.
We have a low cost of
Yeah.
drinking.
yeah,
Come to Louisville.
it's no Wisconsin, but we
Old
got
English,
you.
2 for $3.
We'll get you drunk for cheap.
Yeah, but right now, what are we going to be shocked to start seeing? $8 for 12-ounce double IPA.
I don't
$10.
know.
I hope not.
I don't want to think about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're not taking that to the cost per glass at our brewery. Our price increase is going to be on the shelf
Right.
to the consumer.
Mhm.
Well, then again, the whole point of this experiment, veiled somewhere way back.
Forget about
in the-
drinking local.
the ether.
If you want to save money, just drink Old English.
Yeah, just-
okay, that's what we're getting.
My
really-
point was, if we're calling all of these domestic beers, the only one that's actually the one that is the most domestic is this Fall City Pilsner, because you guys make it right there.
Yeah.
That's
And
domestic.
Yeah,
That's
that's
domestic.
domestic beer.
And we all had the same comment. This smells and tastes like
Noticeably
beer.
different.
Yeah,
it's-
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's what we thrive
It's the
for.
least fall shitty thing on the table, I would say. Like, it's actually
Thanks,
delightful.
Shitty. What?
So do you have any questions for the other two people that are on the panel, or just John?
He runs a Homer.
Okay, the answer's no.
Okay, no, I mean you.
How are things, David?
You okay?
we're good. I've been going to John's therapist. It's been going well.
How is the Kentucky Beer Network thing going on, or should I ask Joey?
David has an Instagram account. It got hacked
It didn't get hacked.
by a
It
Russian
got,
troll
It
farm.
got impersonated.
it got
Yeah.
impersonated, which is a form
Identity theft is not a joke,
of
Joey.
flattery. I didn't get I didn't get his social. He didn't get mine. I think we're okay. But that's going to be a thing. If anyone has any great ideas for what that should be now, I'm open to hearing it. But being jazzed about the Kentucky scene is great.
Yeah.
When you're one person that is interested in all of this, it becomes cumbersome. Because we've tripled in 3 years. I mean, it's just not exponentially, but I mean, it's gone way up. And the most interesting thing is there's a high concentration in Louisville and a high concentration in Lexington, but to get to some of these places,
There's an opportunity.
3-4 hours away, and it's definitely an excursion.
There is a need for that Kentucky beer storytelling too, which is great. Just because it's all Kentucky beer at the end of the day.
Right?
Yeah.
But one person could not simply take that on.
It's difficult.
And I do a disservice, in my opinion, to only feature Louisville and Lexington beers, and that when the branding is for the whole state. So there's some efforts being pushed out, but I would love some local people to maybe think about, getting the word out.
Account takeovers is what we want to happen.
That's right.
Yeah. We want breweries in Richmond to own Kentucky Beer Network for a day and basically advertise their brewery to all the people in Louisville and Lexington.
I mean, even within our state, it's there's niches, right? I mean, there's Louisville, there's Lexington. Northern Kentucky is so much of more Cincinnati.
Yeah, it really. Yeah,
it's
Who day?
Hey,
I'll be cheering on the Bengals.
Same here.
I'm not a Bengals fan, but I'll be cheering them on.
Oh, that's because they're orange.
Oh my god.
Jeez Louise.
What's that have to do with me? Because I'm orange?
A little bit.
Well,
it's
more gray these days.
I
part of it is.
Now I'm offended. Now you're all canceled.
I colored you an orange crown. Anyways, but no, it's a good idea to keep getting it out. But the scarcity among the state's huge. I mean, it's
120 counties.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your big pockets of where it makes sense to open up spots, and it's great to go to more KGB meetings or Kentucky Go to Brewers, and it's great to not recognize people. So that means
exactly.
That we're growing.
Mm-hmm.
Love these meetings.
I posted one of our little video clips in the homebrewing subreddit, and in the thing I was like, "I'm from Louisville, the best beer city in the United States." And then I just said the rest of the comment, which was about mead. And then somebody came in and commented, Louisville, the best beer city in the United States. Hope you're joking. And then I said, oh, sorry, that should have read best beer city in the world. And then he realized I was joking. And then we had a fun little conversation because he was from Portland, it turned out.
Oh.
So we had a little conversation.
Portland. Yeah, Portland is a neighborhood. There's
Washington. And the beer
Hippie
Portland. Hippie Portland, yeah.
To be fair, we probably have more listeners in Portland than in
Than in
Louisville.
Kentucky, yeah. Statistically speaking. We have where's our biggest
No,
market?
not
Arizona?
No, not statistically speaking. Actual data says that my top 5, the top 5 listeners of this show is California, Oregon, North Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky.
So, listeners, tell us what you want to know about Louisville and Kentucky beer, or about David Satterley's personal life, which I suspect is why most of these people are
Or
here.
why he got a tattoo that says "neat" on his kneecap?
Can you ask Mueller a question? Because you literally just pegged me a question saying
I'm good.
Yeah, you are. You're great, actually. Not
Mueller,
even good.
give a 20-minute lecture about brand development. That's what he got asked to do this week. So
On neat. Okay, so I'll just throw it out there. Neat is one of those words like "fuck" that you can say in different inflections, and it means different things, right?
Neat.
So yeah, that's neat. That's neat. Neat. There's all kinds of inflections to it. And one of my very, very best friends would commonly use that, and that's the gauge I would use was the inflection of the neat.
That's an exclamation point.
Neat.
That's the inflection. So you're welcome. I'm glad you're
Is that a Falls City tattoo too? I see. Or
looking at my legs. No.
Oh, it's a stamp.
Stamp. Oh, that's temporary.
I tried to. That shit won't wash off.
Okay. Well, I look forward to getting more haircuts at your brewery. But
Please do.
this has been
Hipster Fest next time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you don't know, Fall City has a can with this funny guy's face on it. Really cool. And if you're gonna pick one up, I would do that. But I think this about wraps it up, and I'm kind of out of patience. So
Look at my bottle of Utopias. We're about out of time.
yeah. So Drew, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
on.
thanks, Drew.
John. I'm still mad that you're here. And Michael, if you could talk more next time.
Until next time, everybody, thanks for listening, and cheers.
Cheers.
Or as they say,
OE or cheers with some OE.
neat.
neat.
I'll have it neat instead of on the rocks.
All beers neat.
All right.
I'm drinking more of the Old English, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good. Cheers. Yeah, if I had a nickel for every my uncle or my grandfather.
Yes,
it's
well, my
like,
dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Your dad,
He worked
like
in the lab
my
there in, like,
dad's
the
like it's
70s.
like it's
Give him a
it's
nickel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I would.
I didn't know that.
He worked in there, I think, like quality control lab or something. He's like
That's
an
crazy.
engineering chemistry.
I
student
swear,
or
I think that
something.
everybody had. It seems like everybody had
Yeah.
some uncle or grandfather, someone that worked for.
And anybody who we see here on the shop or who we talk to, coming to Louisville from outside, one of the first things that when they kind of just start learning about Louisville's beer history, they say, "Oh, Fall City! Like my granddad had that in the fridge when I was a kid," or like, whatever. Eventually, they'll reference the Jimmy Carter beer or something like that, and then we'll say,
Yeah.
"Well, go there, go to the tap room now."
We'll get to that point.
What
But
was-
it's oddly enough, like my mom brought up to the point that my great grandfather was a brewer at Stroh's. Like she's from
cool.
Michigan, so
Oh, nice.
I'm talking about another like old beer brand. So it's.
What was Fall City's distribution like pre-prohibition?
Man, there was pre-prohibition. We've tried to find records back that far, but
Where did Pink Miata come from? Is that like your dream car or?
no, like I forgot. Like I'll give a lot of that credit to Brian Uselis, and I can't remember how
Oh,
he came
great.
to that. How he came to that name, but I think it was kind of like that midlife crisis, like that when you get into that. My dad bought. It wasn't a pink one, but he bought a Miata.
They don't come pink like standard.
Everything
custom.
comes pink.
Yeah, if you try hard enough.
Yeah, you can get something pink. I don't know.
A
Yeah,
pink
I
car
mean,
in this market?
my dad bought a Miata, and I think it was fun to drive with the top down, but I could not fit into that thing with like the top.
They're
like,
awful
like
cars.
it was terrible. Like I felt like I was going to die. I mean, it was fun to drive on the country roads, but then he was like, yeah, he got over that quick and sold in about 2 months and got a Ford F-150. So
Love
it.
Love it.
It was a short-lived.
Midlife crisis.
But yeah, I have no idea how it came to like Pink Miata weather, but we like the first time that we did that, we just did like draft only,
Mhm.
and somehow like there's like this weird Miata club like cult that like
Don't call the people that drank all
that found it, like found that we were doing this, and so we were getting hit up from all points of the United States that like people were trying to like get this beer
Oh, man.
because
That's awesome.
they were just Miata.
Aficionado.
Enthusiasts.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we just kind of did like a tongue-in-cheek joke. So
Tapped
we're
into
putting out in
something deep.
cans. So I don't know if sooner or later Mazda's going to come after with a cease and desist. And,
Or hey Mazda,
yeah,
let's
sorry.
figure something out.